Hi guys, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to harvest and plant some desert rose seeds. So this video here was about 6 weeks before this video, and in that time you can see the seed pods have grown about double in size, just in 6 weeks or so. And then a couple weeks later, as you can see here, they start to crack open, and you can see the seeds inside. They're little seeds, the little piece in the center, and then they've got the fuzzy stuff on the outside that helps disperse the seeds once these seed pods crack open. And as they start to crack, sometimes I'll put a bag on like you see here, just to catch the seeds, because once they pop open, they just kind of go all over the place. So if I don't think I'm going to be able to be around to catch the seeds, I'll just put the bag on to catch some. And then here, once they're ready, once they really start popping open, I'll put them in a paper sack just to let them continue to dry for a couple days. You just kind of pluck it off the plant, almost like you're picking green beans or something, if you've ever done that, and just kind of put the pod in the bag, and then the next step, you break them apart. Okay, so now that we've got a few pods harvested, here's the kind of the bag or envelope thing that I put them in. So the next step, you can see they've really dried out and started escaping the pods, but I'll just get one out for now. So this is what it looks like, and you want to make sure that you know how many fans, because I'm doing this inside, and on my previous harvest, I had my ceiling fan on, and when I started taking some of these out, these things will just take off and fly all over the place. So make sure you've got the fans turned off anyway. But what you want to do is take this, and I'll try to get in close enough so you can see it. So this part right here in the center is the seed, and these things are just, you know, to carry the seed off and whatever. So I just get in here and grab the seed and pluck off the fuzzy part. I don't know what the technical term is, but fuzzy part works. And then take the other side and take that off. I'll just put those down here. They're already starting to fly all over the place. And then now you're left with that seed right there. So we'll just kind of continue on. This one here, you can see the seed's not, it doesn't look like it developed all the way, so I probably won't even harvest that one. It's just really thin. It may be viable, but I'm not gonna mess with it, because you can see you get plenty of seeds. There's tons, and I don't even know how many, but see, there's another thin one that I probably won't mess with. Here's a nice healthy one here. You can see that seed in there is really nice and big. So again, you just take off the ends, and then you're left with the seed. So I'll go ahead and keep doing this. Make sure I get enough seeds harvested, and then I'll show you the next step here in a bit. Okay, so we've got quite a few seeds here, and then the next stage, to get them planted, I'll show you what I do here. So I've got one of these little grow setups here. So it's just got a removable dome. You can adjust it here. with the holes. You can turn it off or shut it off the airflow or let more air in. And then it comes with 6 little containers. I've already got it filled up with some growing medium. So I'll just take one of these out now and set this aside. I've already pre-moistened the soil. It just makes it easier to poke holes in it and get the seeds in. And the medium I'm using, you can use just about any growing medium probably, but I mix my own. I use perlite, cocoa coir, and a little bit of compost and a little bit of calcium clay. Really free draining, but the cocoa coir just really holds on to some moisture, which is good for seed development. So let me try to adjust the camera a little bit so you can kind of get in here closer and see what I'm doing. Okay, so next, I'll usually plant about 3 to 4 seeds in each container. And what I do, I just poke some holes in it, just kind of equidistant apart, about maybe 1/4 to a 1/2 inch deep. And then, like I said, with the soil pre-moistened, it just helps be able to poke holes in without the soil kind of caving back in on itself. So once I get the 3 holes in there, I'll pick up the seed just down here, and then we'll get 2 of them there. You just drop one down in the hole if it'll let go. There we go. These little fuzzy hairs are kind of cling to you. And that one there, just kind of hovering around the top, so I'll just poke that down in the hole. And then take the other one, and that's 3. And then I just loosely pack the soil back in around the seeds. And that's it. And then you just go ahead and do the rest of them, put it back in the container. And I keep them in that container for, you'll see germination probably in 2 to 4 weeks. Keep them warm, and then once they germinate, make sure they've got decent light on them. It helps them grow faster. And then once they germinate, you just let them grow in this container for a little while. And then I think I made another video. I'll try to insert some of that maybe here, where once they get maybe an inch and a half tall, I go ahead and pull them out of this container and then put them in a separate grow container, which I'll show you that now. So here's one that I just transplanted probably a month ago, and like I said, these were probably this big when I transplanted it, and it's put on some more growth. It's kind of curving over towards the sun where I've got it on my bench, but then you just let them grow in this container for until they get maybe this big or so, and then you want to keep up potting it so it'll grow faster, because the roots and the base of this thing really swell up and grow fast, and you'll start feeling it push against the side of the pot. And then you want to put it in a bigger pot and just keep doing that about every 6 months to a year maybe. Just kind of keep up potting it so it'll keep growing faster. And I'll show you the next stage. Like I said, this one's about maybe 3 to 4 months old, if that. And I'll show you the next size. And this one here is kind of the next size up. This one's probably 6 to 9 months old, probably closer to 9 months. And just for size comparison, this is the one that I just showed you. So you can see they grow really fast. This one's like 3-ish months old. This one's probably about 9 months old. So let me show you the next stage. And this one here is about 1.5 years old. So from here to this is about a little over a year's worth of growth. And you can see how much bigger the pot is. And when I brought this in, you can already see the soil mounding up because the roots, just like I said, they would grow really fast, and the trunk base here, the caudix, thickens up really good. And I did see some roots even coming out of the bottom of the pot. So they grow really fast, and then you'll get some blooms usually in the second year if it's growing healthy. Let me see if I can get in here and kind of show you the close-up of the blooms. And this one here, it's actually, they're white, but they've got little pink margins on them, which is kind of cool. And some have like more roughly blooms on them, but you can get a bunch of different varieties. I've got a pink one, I've got a white and red one, I've got a few white ones like this, but you can see, like I said, they grow really fast, and you can expect blooms in usually the second year of growth. And so that's kind of just a quick rundown on how I harvest seeds and grow desert rose from seeds. And the difference between growing them from seeds and cuttings, you can grow them from cuttings too, but when you grow them from cuttings, the base just doesn't thicken up quite as well. You can get some decent kind of exposed roots and stuff in cuttings. I'll show you one of those up here. I've got one growing decent size from a cutting, but just not as nice as the ones grown from seed. And then I've got some other giant desert rose out in the yard. I'll try to get some footage of those here to end the video. But these are probably, at least 8-10 years old. And it's going to be hard to see. It's hard to tell the size, but they are probably 3 feet tall from the bottom of the pot to the top of the plant, and at least 2 feet, maybe 2.5 feet wide. So they're really big, big plants, and you can kind of prune them. I've kind of let the big ones go just so I can get seeds off of them, but you can keep them pruned to keep them a little bit shorter. Different, I've got this one. I let it grow tall because I like kind of the curvy trunk, and then just kind of let the foliage up on top and the blooms. I've got another one like this where I chopped it down, and it's more of a short, squatty one with kind of an umbrella bloom top on it. So you can do a lot of fun things with desert rose. They're tropical, and you keep them outside in the summertime soaking up the sun, and that's when they really grow fast and bloom. And then you bring them indoors, and at least here in Texas, when I bring mine indoors, they kind of go semi-dormant, lose some leaves, and kind of just really slow down, and then really come back to life when you take them back out the next spring. So I think that'll do it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.